Most people being admitted to dementia units are anxious, with next to no memory and poor direction orientation. It's very confusing. And the top anxieties are wanting to get out, wanting to go home, and wanting to see friends and family. It's extremely difficult and anxiety provoking for most people, unless you've been in the nursing home downstairs and you're being transferred upstairs to the dementia unit where maybe some of your friends are, then it's not so difficult. But otherwise, the whole aspect of orientating to a completely new environment, not knowing the people, not knowing the system, seemingly now you're in a hospital, in a new bedroom, and everything's foreign. It's very difficult to adjust. So the best thing in terms of adjusting, really, the quickest adjustment happens for those people that befriend someone in the dementia unit. They either make a single friend, like if it's a male dementia resident now who's, say, Alzheimer's, early 80s, she's befriended another elderly lady. Not difficult because most of the people in the unit are elderly ladies. So if she's befriended someone, or in fact maybe befriended two people because the lady she's befriended may indeed have another friend, so you automatically become their friend fortuitously, then knowing someone really makes so much difference, because actually you're in a position then to be able to orientate to the unit and to be able to settle, because then you realize, look, I'm not the only one going through this. All these people are going through a similar experience. We're all here. We're all going through the same thing. We're all, seemingly not able to get out. And so then you turn to each other to be able to get some guidance as to what is going on. And if you've befriended someone who's been at the unit for some time and is orientated enough and settled enough to indeed know what's going on, that is a great help, because you're no longer navigating the rough seas solo, but you have a companion with you. So, of course, cares are done. You don't have to worry about cares in a dementia unit. All the cares, the guidance with showering and dressing, the meals are done, the beds are made, the laundry's done. So you don't really need to think about that. But you do need to orientate to the unit. You need to know where your bedroom is. You need to know what's going on. You need to know when lunch is to be able to, guide yourself through the day. So if you have a friend who you've befriended and you're sitting by them and now you're with the group, because hopefully your friend goes to the activities each day, starting with newspaper reading. So you have breakfast with her. Now you're at the same dining table, which is a great help, by the way, so that after breakfast you go straight to the newspaper reading and you follow her there. And now you're part of the group, because at the newspaper reading, there's often 8, 10, 12 people coming there daily. So naturally, being part of the group, you get to know the other people. So this way, you're befriending people, you're being part of the group, you're not isolated, you're not out on the rim. And then, of course, you start thinking about these topics that are going on in the workshops and what's happening in the world, the news, what's happening in New Zealand or overseas, or with COVID or political affairs or whatever topic is coming up in the news, and you see that other people in the group are giving comment, other dementia residents. And so this way your cognition starts clicking in and you start thinking about what you like and what you don't like. And if others can communicate, well, maybe you can as well. And in terms of orientation, how it helps, how other dementia residents help each other is just simple things like lunchtime, for example. Everyone's always hungry before lunch and asking, when is lunch? So generally, there's one or two people in the group that have a watch, and so they're the ones that, the timekeepers, the town crier, they'll tell you the time. So at least now lunch is coming up, so that's one thing. And then after that, you will be told, chances are, what's happening in the afternoon. So if the activity coordinator says, oh, the crown is on this afternoon with the Queen Elizabeth and Princess Margaret and Prince Philip, of course everyone gets excited about that, the crown. I mean, everyone loves the crown. So then you start clicking into the fact of, oh, okay, so the Queen is coming on to the screen, like how that happens. Maybe you haven't really got much of a clue, but never mind. Everyone else, excuse me, everyone else seems to be interested. So no doubt, so should I. So in this way, this group camaraderie, this group interest, this group energy, it just fuels everyone, and everything tends to take on a momentum of its own, especially interesting topics, you know, especially interesting workshops, interesting things. That's the big thing. Like when the smart TV came in, that was of massive interest because there were so many programs now that the dementia residents could view rather than the same old channel TV on and on. Now they've got, you know, Netflix, they've got David Attenborough, animal programs, big favourite. And so the world's opened up to them with The Crown, David Attenborough and other programs. Mind you, those are the two favourite programs, by the way. Animal programs, on and on. Happy to see Africa, happy to see the Amazon, happy to see the frogs and the fish. They love it. So they never actually get tired of those animal programs. It is amazing. Those marvellous David Attenborough programs with his beautiful mellow voice and the subtitles and the interesting animals. So many plants, all about the ocean. It's never ending information, interesting information with, you know, beautiful colour and photography and the outside coming in for them. And yeah, it's a never fail. So that is how they help each other, enthusing each other. Oh, well, you know, David Attenborough's on or the Crown is on, discussing it at lunch, bustling over in their walkers to get a front seat to see the Crown. And if you're a friend of this person who's very keen to engage, of course, you'll go along as well. So it really is a great way of being able to help each other. And also, if the group itself, like where I worked, they were all into the year's theme, which was being positive. So if everyone around you is saying, look, it's important to be positive and only people that are positive can be here, then if you're the new resident, you start to think, oh, well, maybe I should be too if everyone else is making the effort. And when people are saying to you, as some of the dementia residents did used to say, oh, it's lovely here, you know, it's clean, it's warm, the staff are good, we get good meals and we're well fed, and you can see that, well, yes, the food is good, and yes, it is warm, and yes, it is clean, then all these positive thoughts start to come into your mind, and comparatively things can start to pick up. So this is the way with that stress will automatically settle. When you befriend someone and you have that warmth of friendship, then loneliness will settle. And when you're positive and feeling part of a group, then anxiety will settle. So that's why it's important to put in place these measures so that the person can make a friend and feel at home in the group, and work on their attitude of positivity and being positive with mum and explaining the positive aspects, that it's much nicer to be in a place that's warm and comfortable and cozy, where you have good food and can meet lovely people, than being alone at home in a cold house with no one else around, as is the case with many elderly women when their husband has passed on. So reinforcing these points to mum actually helps, if said in an empathetic way. Once the settling phase is over, it's always difficult in the settling phase, the first 2 or 3 months of coming into a dementia unit. But once that phase is settled, then you can start to outline the positive things, and in that way your mother will feel less anxious, more at home and more integrated, especially if she makes a friend. These 2 books, The Resident's Voice and The Resident's Rise, both from a dementia unit, I've written, both on Amazon and my website description below. So thank you for your likes and your looks and your viewing and your subscriptions, and please subscribe those viewing this channel who haven't. Thank you.